There's the first D6. There's the second D6.
And it's a 5-1. And on a 5-1 we have on trails, it is an ambush. Well, good for you, Rusty. And it's an ambush 1, which means that we hit a choke point. It means, Rusty, you suffer a wound based on the monster, no safeguard. No choice to respond. Take your lumps and continue. Do not pursue to give them hell. Should this occur on the quest threat other than non-humans, roll magical waning. No. Rusty, you have taken a die 6 damage right off the bat from the skeletons on the trail. Oh, you should learn to run. Rusty goes down 5 hit points. Well, he's at 3. It's not terrible. And I move on to, and then that we have actually resolved that skill. So that is open. Now, we do not need to go further, Conrad. We can right now bring about the climax while we have the advantage, while we have all our gear and luck. And I would advise us at level 1 to take that, and we would then kill the skeletons right here on the trail if we're able. They are subtract 1 from to the death for the quest finale, and subtract another 1 to the death because they are skeletons. But your choice. If you wish to force the climax right now, we will roll to the death. If you do not want to, you will roll to move to the next terrain and suffer that encounter.
So if we get the climax, one of us will get experience points, correct?
Correct.
Which is kind of what we want.
Yeah, well, and we also get a gold coin, and that gold coin could buy someone a shield, and that shield is against all these non-humans. Plus, we get rid of the skeletons, and we'll pick a different monster to fight next time.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's fiat the end game.
I think that is the correct option to do it. So
I like it.
I'm going to 2 to death, Conrad, and you're going to roll 1 die, and you're going to subtract 1 from that die. That's the first die we're going to look at.
Okay. I'm playing a wizard character.
Okay.
And do I need to cast a spell now?
You could cast a spell at any time. You can use your scrolls and potions on your turn at any time. So I would say roll the die and see what happens.
Okay, find out what's going to happen. So here we go. And I rolled a 3 less 1 is a 2.
Now a 3 less 1 is a 2 would mean that we're going to be pinned and go poof. Now, with pinned, we would suffer wounds based on the monster. You would take a die 6 damage, Conrad. And it would require the safeguard of armor and shield, of which we do not have magical armor and shield. You would test armor fatigue, but we don't have magical armor, so that's not. And the fight would continue where we're only re-rolling a single D6. It would go over to Fred. But all other further results of pins are treated as death embrace. Not a bad thing. You would just take your D6 and hope by the time it goes through Fred, Tony, myself, and Rusty, the battle would be over. By not using your aces now, it would mean that Fred could use his 2 aces. If you use your ace, you can put 1 ace in for +1, bring it to a 3, and we would gain a permanent +1 in this battle from the Fury. However, it would not change your damage, and nobody else could add aces to the battle.
What if I added both of them?
Now, if you put both the aces in there, you go to Shaken. Now, Shaken has the advantage that you're going to gain an XP, which is always nice to have. You will still suffer the the wound, but it also becomes splash damage, and we all take a D6 damage. So an interesting choice mathematically and wargaming style for this. Did you want to add 1 ace, and that's all the pluses we're going to have in this battle from our gear? Or did you want to pass, take the damage, because making sure that we have already been pinned, it will not happen again, is not a bad way to start the battle.
Well, I was thinking this. I see armor as a spell. It says ignore monster wound damage.
Yes, that would be for you to ignore this wound, which would be fine. Okay. You should probably cast that. Well, why don't you roll the die first and see how big the damage is?
Okay.
It's only a 1. Take it.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. That's about what? Half your hit points?
Yes. But so the benefit of getting the extra experience point, though, I like that answer. So let me throw in both of my aces.
Okay. So Conrad is screwing the party as we well, but maybe not. And yes, Conrad, you may gain an XP, and everyone is going to take a D6 damage. So go ahead and everyone roll that.
And then I'm going to use the armor spell to not take damage.
Yes, and you're going to avoid your damage. And I'm going to take 6 XPs, which for me is going to be half of my XPs that I possibly could take.
I will use my armor spell so I don't die.
Okay, Rusty's going to use his armor spell so he does not die. And Fred, you go ahead and take your damage. And Tony, you're rolling 2d6. You should probably only take 1d6. That would
I know. I took the first time. I've been trying to make it so I can roll the 2 dice separately.
Got it.
This
Thank
time
you.
I rolled 1. So
yeah, and everyone has gotten their wound damage. Conrad, you've grabbed your experience
1
points.
XP, right?
And we have a shaken result, which just gave us damage. We do not pick up that +1 for Fury, but we are +2 on the dice from the 2 aces played, gear and luck.
Question.
Yes.
Is this considered the first D6 event?
No. That would be big D6 event, Fred.
Okay, I'm lost. I don't really understand what that is, but
so,
okay.
When we roll an encounter, like Rusty rolled the trap or something on the trails.
Ambush.
Yeah, the ambush on the trails. You could have played that spell, and Rusty could have rolled a second D6 to figure out whether or not he actually was ambushed, or it could have been skirmish, or it could have been something different. That's the first D6. Whenever we roll a pair of D6 to generate an encounter, Fred, you would re-roll the first one them over if you activate that spell. So when I will prompt you at times to see what you can get into play. I'm over to Conrad's turn is over. I'm going to go over to Fred. Fred, you're going to roll a D6 for what happens to you in the battle to the death. We are adding 1 to the roll. A 2 becomes a 3. Not a bad roll. Fred, you are going to suffer damage. So give yourself a D6 damage, please. 4. And Fred is probably reaching his...
yeah, just about that.
And Fred, you do not gain any XP from this, but we gain +1 from the Fury for this, which is nice. And I go to Tony. Tony, you're a +2 to the dice. D6 +2.
He's +3 to the dice. I'm sorry.
But
He's
we
yes, +3 -1. Yep, my bad.
1 -1 for the skeletons.
And
I'm
quick
probably
question,
cheating myself. Armed skeletons -2. We'll just go ahead and call them -1 for this first battle. Question, Fred.
I actually have a question. So since Fred rolled a die,
yes.
That means I, as a celebrant, heal 1 hit point when he rolled that D6, right?
Not you heal every turn of the big D6, little D6, not every turn of battle. Because this is considered a sub-phase. I would never be able to kill you if you healed that much damage.
Well, that's one.
But trust me, when you get out of this and we then take the one step walk home.
Okay. All right, so I'm rolling a D6 +1 then?
You're rolling a D6 plus, I think we're at net of 2 because Fred got the Fury. Conrad put in 2 aces that cancels it out. Yeah, we're at +2. D6 +2.
How about a 4?
2 + 2 is 4. Wow, we all know what that is. That's going to be the good old-fashioned shaken. Everyone, you gain an XP, Tony, and everyone takes a D6 damage. I took 2 points of damage. Did we kill anyone yet?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Is my armor spell still in effect?
It is not, Rusty.
Okay.
Maybe you need to give him a little bit more starting if it's going to be like this continual rain of damage.
Nope,
I'm
Fred.
at 0.
It's going to be the fact that we're going to loot your body for your gear.
I'm at 0. Does that mean I'm dead?
Yes. Okay. 0's death.
And do I also take that die 6?
You do take that die 6.
Just making sure. A 4.
Ooh.
Okay.
How many people in the party do we kill right here? I got laughter.
2.
I got laughter from my design partner. Make sure you realize that before the ugly editors come toward me, there are 2 names on the byline of this of these projects.
He's laughing.
It's over to me. I am rolling 1 die. I am adding 2. Thank you very much for all of this. Is why I play a cell sword with those 12 hit points. Here comes my die 6. 6 + 2 is what? 6 + 2 is a victory, obviously. So after we've cleared out some of the other people that would share our victory, we have picked up 1 Imperial Gold coin and one XP for me. Thank you, guys. I will mourn you later.
And Fred, there's the double jib to the game. Since you didn't kill the beast, you don't get any. Even if you live, you don't get anything.
No. You gotta find an encounter that'll.
You got to be the one that rolls the die that kills it.
Well, that's just like classic D&D. You got to be the one that comes in and does the last hit point of damage. Oh, it's all mine now.
You're now a new character.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah, that's fine. Now
that's the first D6, by the way.
If we go back to the map here, we have completed the adventure. We also got loot.
Do we pick up the stuff from the dead guys, right? Because I used my gear and.
Yes, if you use your gear, you should take your gear. We cannot carry double gear, but we are generating loot. So I will go ahead and pass the die over to Conrad. Conrad, give me a D6 for loot. Now, this is the quest finale, so we add one to the die.
5.
A 5. A 5 is going to be, we're going to gain food. So that's going to probably heal up some hit points here. And a treasure chest, plus we gain choose either a potion or scroll inside. We might as well choose a potion. And I will go over to Tony. Would you please roll us the potion?
Okay.
To use our food, did we ever have an opportunity?
You can do that right before the rolls, which means when Conrad said, I want to fiat the end game, that would have been a good time for people to use food before he did that.
Oh, and you didn't mention that, by the way.
Well, it's in the rules, man. I mean, what I
somebody said we didn't have.
You're a grown-ass man. I can't wet energy your whole life here.
Somebody said.
I told you 12 hit points for a sellsword is a pretty good thing in this game. But okay, let me go back to Tony here. Tony, what was your die roll on that potion, please?
It's a 2.
A 2.
So Rusty, we'll just say we're going to pause before we roll here and ask to see if we should do anything.
Well, I am the most experienced player. I have gotten someone to level 8.
We should.
It was a hell of a journey to get to level 8.
And Rusty was the only one that was. And Rusty
only one who might have lived.
Tony, you have picked up a potion of invisibility to escape from a wound, from ambush or skirmish. In group play, the potion will also allow the player to skip his turn. He must decide before the dice is rolled, and will not work on depth 6. After depth 6, the spawning ground. In the surface adventures, it will not work after we collect 6 milestones, so it will not work after we're level 6. But take your potion, Tony, and I will roll to see what was in the treasure chest. The all-important, is it trapped or not? I want to roll a even roll. Here comes a D6. Do I want to apply my luck to this? Well, let's see what the roll is before I do. A 4, I will not apply my luck.
It's not +1 because we were in the climax, correct?
Let me see. Total depth, roll for treasure, add 1. Total coins is D6 per level. And of depth +1. You do not add 1 for the contents of the treasure chest, Conrad, because that could possibly 50-50 chance put you in a wound. But you could have added 1 on generating loot, which I think you did, didn't you? Is that how we got the potion, or did I miss? Well,
no, you said when we were going to the treasury, you told me to add 1, so I rolled a 4, which became the 5. Then you asked Tony to roll for the potion and or scroll, so you chose potion. It determined that it was a invisibility potion.
I just put the table up in the chat. You were generating loot, and you're adding 1 because this was the quest finale, and then you generated, I believe, that 4 became a 5, or
yes. The 4 became a 5,
and so you gained food, treasure chest, plus either a potion or scroll. When I rolled for the actual contents of the chest, and that's fine. I'm just cutting and pasting this out of the Fantasy OSR rules.
Yep.
The chest, I rolled a 4, which is very good. I'm going to roll silver coins, and I'm going to roll a D6 silver coins, and I add 1 because we were at 1 milestone, and I have rolled 11 silver coins. That's $1.10. $1.10 plus $1 for the quest is when we get home. Go ahead and everyone grab their new characters, since we're going to start a new quest right here. And with $1.10, $2.10.
And by $1.10, you mean 1 gold, 1 silver, right?
Well, a $2.10, I should say.
Yeah.
We have 1 gold imperial worth $1. We have
monsters are using paper money.
And we have, they probably are, Fred. And we have 11 silver coins. So we have 1 gold coin and 11 silver coins.
Tecamel, they're plastic chits.
Yeah, it's all Bitcoin at this point in the ethereal.
It's worthless then. Oh my God.
And so getting back to town, we have some decisions. First, let's eat the extra food off the other players, because I personally don't want to go into town injured and have to replace my food.
My guy, when he died, had all 3 things. So
I'm back to 12 hit points.
I'll eat my own food as well.
And don't eat your own food. Well, because
why not? I'm a celebrant. I'll go back and I get it for free.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you begging priests that always get their food for free.
Do we roll for the recovery on the food, right? It's a die 6, or is it you gain 6 back?
Well, what the food does is it's going to heal 10 hit points.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And so the food, 10 hit points divided amongst the party. Fred's food and Rusty's food are 20 hit points. I believe that covers Tony, myself, and you. If it doesn't, Tony can eat his own food, because as a celebrant, when he gets back into town, he has to pay 20 cents for his luck rather than a dime, but he gets free food and gear whenever he uses it.
And by 20 cents, you mean 2 silver.
Everyone should be back up whole. And I got $2.10, and I recommend, we don't have the money to buy a magic sword, which is really nice, but we have the money to buy 2 magic shields. Would you agree that we keep the dime? We'll spend it to get Conrad's luck back, and so take your luck back, and then we're going to pick up 2 +1 shields. Now, who gets those 2 +1 shields? We can roll random, or we can give them to 2 of our weaker members that have less hit points. What do you guys want as a philosophy?
I'd say let's just roll it.
Okay. Conrad wants to play this old school D&D. Roll me 2d6. High dice get the shields. I got a 7.
Not me.
You said 2d6?
2d6, yes.
I rolled a 6.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, Rusty, you have a +1 shield, and Red, you have a +1 shield. Thank you, guys. That +1 shield is going to come in very handy. Let's get a different monster. Let's get something that's going to be a little easier to fight. Tony, I'm going to let you pick one of these monsters that I'm putting on the in the chat. Site unknown. Did you want to fight Acacia, Aslan, Atlanteans, Biblicite, or Deshai?
Let's get that Aslan, man. I'm going to have to care for that damn lion.
And which one would you like to fight, Tony?
Let's go after the Biblicite.
The Biblicite, that is a lion's head on a human body. And here comes the modifiers for it. And it will have any skirmish within a hex of the wastes, that's hardly ever, applies a -1 clarifying die roll modifier, and causes double damage on skirmish event, defend, result 2. It gains the aces of gear and luck whenever we loot the monster. That's pretty nice. And we're going to go out and we're going to get rid of these Biblicites that, maybe they have a nice village. They're just trying to farm dandelions on the edge of town, but the humans don't like them, and we're going to go slaughter them. It sounds like something that we would do. And we're ready to start again. And Tony, we can start back at the trails, or we can enter a new hex. Do you want to move from the trails, or do you want to move from off the Barren Hex? At this point, it would not make either difference.
We have to move from the trails.
Okay, so we move from the trails, and I roll me a D6, please, Tony.
Okay, D6. There you go.
A 6.
That's gotta be good.
We have moved, and we have found something wondrous. You know what we forgot to do? Make sure you hold me this in the future. We killed some skeletons. I'll do it now, although I hate going back in time. Roll me a D6, Conrad. A 6?
6.
Now, when you butchered the skeletons, you picked up nothing. Okay, that makes sense. You could have perhaps picked up femurs and skulls, or pelvises, or other assorted bones, and those can be sold to the witches. So it's more value in the game by butchering what you find. All right, we have our monsters. Tony rolled a wondrous encounter. Give me a big D6 and little D6. Now, Fred, if you want to apply, we're still playing the elf and wanted to apply your spell here, here's what I would say. Go ahead and roll me a big D6 and little D6.
I'm a dwarf now. something.
Okay, so Tony has rolled a 1 and a 6. If you didn't like the 1 that he rolled because it was sending us into some sort of dangerous area, you could change that to a different value with the spell you previously had.
You could let him re-roll it, right?
Pardon? Yes, he would let him.
He gets to re-roll it
if the spell was applied. Correct, Rusty.
And that's the arcane spell, right?
I don't have it in front of me. I would assume if you're reading it that you're reading it correctly.
Yeah, and again, I don't have that spell, so
that's out of Fantasy OSR. The arcane spell can only be used by certain, like the wizard and elves, or
elves.
And early on, the armor spell, it's an obvious thing to take, but it doesn't automatically go up with your level for what it's worth. We are at a 1/6. Yeah, off of the trails, Tony. A 1/6. I am getting to that section here. A 1 is a freehold. And what happens in the freehold? So I go down to the freehold section. And at the freehold, you get a 6. We have found another full-service town. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Wait a second. Wait. Did I? No. I'm in the wrong section. Why did I think we were in trails? We're in Wondrous. I'm cheating us. You don't want me to cheat you. We want to have the entire beauty of this game here.
I think we're kind of used to being cheated.
A 1 is the ruins of lore.
That doesn't sound like we were cheated by getting a nice town.
It could be. Yes, I don't want you to be cheated by having a nice town, and then Tony could get his food and gear back. The ruins of lore. We have found an abandoned area, an underworld, a cavern, vestiges of civilization, a rubble-strewn area, an aged plaza, and that 6 is an age-worn area. Now, an age-worn area means we gain loot revealed by a recent fire, flood, or seismic shift. Additionally, spellcasters like Celebrant Elves Wizards from Fantasy OSR would be able to regain any spells that they had already cast. So, Tony, would you like to roll for your loot, please? Give me a D6. And go ahead and sing it out because I'm on a
How about a 6?
Before you roll, though, Tony, this would be an opportunity to eat food.
Oh, to put your
Yeah, but nobody's damaged.
Well, but again, just to.
Yeah, I could use my gear or my luck or something like that to give me a plus.
Right. You could, if you wish to add a +1 to this die roll. We already have a gain a choice of food, gear, or luck, and gain a boon. If you wanted to use your luck right now, you can turn it to a 7 roll, and we get a treasure chest with a boon inside.
Yeah, do that.
Now, the treasure chest has money, where the gain food, gear, or luck doesn't. I don't think we can use any of that unless we roll a cursed item or whatever. But I wouldn't.
I will use my luck then. Why not? Get the chest.
Well, just to preface this, when we get in a battle to the death, and it's your turn to decide, do you want to add your luck and gear? You don't have your luck, so that's you're using it for that. Okay, treasure chest. Fred, go ahead and roll me the treasure chest value then. D6, please, and just tell me what the number is.
2.
A 2. A 2 is bronze coins. Give me a D6 bronze coins, Fred.
1.
1. Wow, that was a great use of luck to get us 1 bronze coin, guy, I got to say. So, but not that I'm bitter about this.
No. We mock Rusty. We don't mock Tony. We mock Rusty. That's
right. I'm sorry. I apologize, Fred. You're, you're, as someone who's only played with us for about 8 years, I probably should still treat you as the newcomer. But yeah, great job getting that nickel out of that trap chest, guys.
That's going to be the lucky nickel.
I'm really happy about that. Rusty, roll me a D6 for boon, please.
Yeah, it never worked well.
Please roll a 3, 4, or 5. Please roll a 3, 4, or 5.
A D6. Okay.
Please roll a 3, 4, or 5.
I got a 3.
A 3, a magic sword. Roll me a D6 and a D6 plus depth. So roll me a D6 plus 1. No, we don't have milestone yet. Roll me a single D6, Rusty.
A 3.
A 3. You have found.
Is it? Can I add my luck and make it a 4?
Let me think on that.
We can mock you, Rusty, though. So
but I want to know if a 4 is actually better than a 3.
Yeah, a 4 would be better than a 3 with a little bit of money. But what you found is a ceremonial sword from an ancient era. It's a kopesh, and it's worth 2 gold if you can sell it to a seer. You can write that down. That once we find a town, or someone that will buy things from you, you could pick up 2 full Imperial gold pieces. And we know 1 gold piece can buy a shield, so that's really nice. I think it takes like 3 or 4 to get armor. And just put that in your remarks section, Rusty, since you found it. That was the boon. The boon was nothing magical, unfortunately, because we're not far enough out. And that was the wondrous area, I believe, that we have entered. And yes, we have moved through the wondrous area, so I'm going to mark that as cleared. And I'm going to move on to skipping me. Well, we shouldn't skip me in this game. I will move from wondrous, and I will roll a D6 for what's next to us. Here goes my D6 roll. It is a 1, and we are at wondrous. I believe wondrous also starts with an item. I think we found a relic. It was a relic from the era 6, so I'm not sure that has any value to us. If I'm talking to myself, don't worry about it. I'm just trying to rehash the elements of the rules. BD6 wondrous, and I rolled adjacent to the wonders, and I rolled a 1. A 1 is a forest area. All right. Do I want to enter the forest? I don't like forests. Should I enter the forest? What do you think, Rusty? Should I enter the forest?
Oh, you're not going to ask me. Ask Conrad.
Is there a benefit in leaving the wondrous area? Does it on the choice of the options from there? Is there like things we'd like to find there? In other words, places of power.
If you
cities.
A wonderful question. Did that just appear on when I hit show to players? Did that just appear on the? Yeah. So from wondrous, you can hit forests, barriers, and ways. You tend to hit very, very tough terrain to get through. If I was thinking sensibly, I would have gone back to the trails and rolled from there for something.
It says my powers, I can always get back to the trail or mark map path.
Yeah, that's underground though, Fred.
Oh, that's underground. Oh, okay.
So we want to go to the trail is what you're saying.
Well, the trail, if I go up to the trail tends to find, civilization, other trails. It's not as dangerous. And at our level, until we all get to level 2 and have another 6 or 7 hit points apiece, it may be best not to press our luck. But we're just testing here. Well, you gotta play test the way people would. I went into the forest and I rolled a 2-4. So here comes the forest, and a 2-4 in the forest would be. I rolled the Eclectic Fae with a mishap. Aren't I lucky?
We're gonna die.
I know my brother will use his armor spell to protect me because he's like that.
Nice.
And a 2 is and then the little D6 was a 4, so I go to the Eclectic Fae and I get a 4. 4 is Provocateurs. And what does that mean? Provocateurs means suffer, mishap, loss. That'd be double mishap. Ow. An elf character ignores this result if it occurs on his action. I am not an elf. A follow with wild quirks, but gain an XP. Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate that XP gain.
That one, hey, all right.
Yeah, that's 2 for me, Fred. 1 more, I got a level. And then I leave the rest of you in the dust because it's that sort of old school game. And I can mark this as explored, but we need to suffer 2 mishaps, and we need to suffer a
picking the food off of a dead guy.
The wild
dead level
quirk.
2 is the same as a dead level 1.
Okay, well, the first mishap is mine, but the second mishap is Rusty because
you're more likely to get more good stuff.
Because it was an Eclectic Fae plus mishap. So let me get the first one of mine, mishap loss. I go to the mishap table, and on the mishap table, we hate that mishap table, and I'm going to roll a D6 for my mishap, and I rolled a 3, and my apologies, guy. It is a blame and poof. Blame and poof. Okay, blame means you lose any ace and take a single point of hit points. All right, so everyone loses an ace. I will lose my food.
Which one?
And I take a single point of damage. I am at 11. And everyone take their, you can either take your gear, you can take your food, you can take your luck. Your gear and your luck are your aces that can improve your combat ability with +1. Your food is healing hit points, which we're not getting any more easily here. And The other
the Fae.
And we take 1 hit point is in addition, or is that just you that takes a hit point?
This is because I hit a blame global, as I put in the chat here. That is, everyone is going to lose an ace. So I lost all my food to the Fae. The Fae have came and put 100 archers in our face and said, "You're trespassing." And I said, "I'm not. I'm here delivering DoorDash." And then Rusty, what did you do? What ace did you give to them?
That's why they took the food.
I gave my gear.
That's why they took
your
the
gear.
food.
And they said,
DoorDash.
and Rusty said, "I got this bicycle that I brought as a gift for your Baron." And then Conrad, what ace did you lose?
I said, "I am here to deliver ye old luck."
Ye old luck, absolutely. They can suck that karma right out of your head as if they're draining your life, draining you.
You said DoorDash, but you meant
we tend not
DoorDash.
We don't want to mic this up too much and add too much role play to my good old fashioned hex crawl here. But I'm just going to tell you, you need to take off an ace and you need to take a hit point, and then we got to go poof. Now everyone is going to roll for their poof. What is poof? Poof is a spell backfires and just is lost. I roll. And I rolled a 3, and I have no spells anyway, so I go, I don't care. Rusty, roll me for your poof. At your level, anything but a 1, and you're fine.
This could be bad.
Rusty's fine. Conrad, do you have any spells?
I just lost it.
Yeah, if one spell of yours sort of backfires and you lost it for the moment, as we adventure, there are places in the game, we've already hit one, where you'll get your spells back. Fred, did you go poof?
Does dwarves have spells?
Only after level 2. Thank you, Fred. And Tony, as a celebrant, did you start with a spell or not?
I failed to pick one. I didn't realize I started with one.
I don't know if you start one or not. I can't remember by the rules.
No, yeah, it says I start with a single spell, and I haven't done so. So
yeah, you should probably
now.
For amusement's sake, I'll say it's counters.
Okay, counters. Give me a die 6, anything but a 1 you want. And Tony's spell is fine, but Conrad's spell went poof. And now we have the second mishap. Rusty, you are going to roll us a d6. I apologize for you having to play after me. And would you please roll me a d6 for the second mishap?
A 5.
And sing it out. A 5. Now, a 5 is a lapse, which means you would lose gear or take hit point damage equal to the character level in D6. So you can either lose your gear or take a D6 damage. If you wish, you may apply your luck here, and it would turn into rationing. Rationing would mean that you lose your food or take 2d8 hit points of damage, but in group play, you would gain an XP.
2d6, obviously, right? Not 2d8.
Forgive me, yes. If I said D8, it's just my freestyle.
Yep.
How many years of playing Cutlass?
So I have no gear. I gave it up on the previous thing.
So if you
I have luck and food left.
So here's what we're going to do is we're going to look at that going, you may lose gear or take hit point damage equal to your character level, which would be a D6. If you don't have gear to lose, you would take the hit point damage. Yeah, so maybe you want to.
But I thought you said I could use luck and some and lose food or something like that.
Yes. So you can turn your 5 with your luck into a roll of a 6.
But Rusty, you could just take the damage because the die 6 won't kill you, right? Or will it?
Well, it does have the advantage.
And
of
then
the
we
XP,
could use
though.
and then we could use the food, and that would get everybody that 1 point back that they just lost on the poof. If that makes sense.
The advantage Red was I get experience if I use my luck.
If you use your luck here, you get an experience point. That is true, but you would lose your food.
Okay. Well, I'll take the experience point.
Grab the experience point, lose your food, and then I go to Conrad's turn. Conrad.
So now I have nothing. I have no food, no luck, and no gear. Right?
Are you still playing a wizard by any chance?
An elf.
An elf. Very good. Well, okay. It's a tough game. I'm just clarifying. I have no food, no gear, and no luck, right? When we find some, we need to get it going your way. Okay, so
Rusty, someone just needs to die, and you'll get some.
That's sad, Fred. But he's thinking in terms
so
of
true.
It is. It's so absolutely.
That's
true.
What makes it even more sad.
Conrad, we're in the forest. Would you please roll me a die to find out
D6 is the 6.
Jason to the forest. A D6 6 would be wondrous. Gosh, that is amazing that we're finding so many of these. All right, Conrad, did you want to enter the wondrous, or did you want to roll some other area of the map to enter?
Can we exit? If we go to the previous wondrous that restored our spell?
No, it's
restore
gone.
Our spell, or is it just every time you go in?
That's a one time. Those guys have moved on.
Okay.
We could go all the way back to town, but then we have to tell our patron we never killed the Bibliocyte he sent us out to kill.
So we'll go into the wondrous.
Okay, I need a big D6 and a little D6 from you, please, for the wondrous.
Big D6 is a 4.
Okay.
But before I roll the second one, does anybody want to take food, etc.? I think we've got just a couple scratches.
Just one point of damage.
Yeah, with the big D6, I will heal myself 1 point.
Yes,
I appreciate
every
that.
time we roll a big D6.
And
Tony, you can heal. You heal the whole group, or just one person you lay hands on?
It says 1, so I think it's just myself.
Yeah, well, I think you can heal yourself, and then next time you can heal somebody else when we roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Rusty's down 1 point.
Right.
I think we're all down 1.
I'm down 1.
Okay.
Everybody was down 1 because of the global.
Okay. I'm going to use my food and bring everybody up. At this point.
I will never turn that down, but I will think. Okay.
Well, because if I take a die damage, it might kill me, so I'm better off.
Yes, you're better off being above the cusp.
Yeah. And everybody got a little bit of benefit from that food, so we were all theoretically 1 step better. So the second D6 that I would roll, the first one was the 4, the second one was a 3.
And the 3 on Eclectic Fey plus Mishap, a 3 under Eclectic Fey. Little D6 Eclectic Fey, a 3 is a Menacing Phantoms. I thought I put Happy Bunnies somewhere in here as an event, but Menacing Phantoms means you suffer each of the following: Wild Quirk, Armor, Fatigue, Weapon Fatigue. We lose 1 potion or scroll you carry. All right, let's go through these together. So, Conrad, the first thing is you do not have magic armor or magic weapons, so we don't need to worry about that. You do not have a potion or scroll. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Then you do not. So all we're going to do is roll for the quirk. So the Menacing Phantoms have come after you. Do you get an XP for that? No, you don't. You may avoid each of these 4 results by sacrificing or burning a trophy or relic we carry. We don't have any of those. And that's 1 item per bane. That's a lot of trophies.